Hi everyone, welcome again to my channel. Today our topic is about English 10 Quarter 2 Module 5 entitled Linear and Non-Linear Texts. The competency in this module is transcode linear to non-linear text and vice versa. In your module under What I Know, we have directions here. Before you proceed to the next part of this module, answer first the items that follow. This will serve as a gauge on your initial information on the topics covered. Write your answers in your notebook. Alright, let us start. Number 1. It is an invented prose narrative that is usually long and complex and deals especially with human experience through a usually connected sequence of events. Our options are A, B, novel, C, speech, and D, story. Now, the answer here is, of course, it is B, novel. Number 2. It is a picture or diagram that helps make something clear or attractive. Okay, options A, figure, B, illustration figure, C, image illustration, and D, pictograph. The correct answer here is letter D, pictograph. Number 3. It refers to the traditional text that needs to be read from beginning to end for further understanding. Alright, our options here are A, linear and non-linear. Letter D, speech. The correct answer here is B, linear. Number 4. It is non-sequential, which means that the readers do not have to go through the text in a sequential manner in order to make sense of the text. Option A is A, B, linear, C, non-linear, and D, speech. The correct answer here is C, non-linear. Number 5. For 5 to 8, we are going to analyze this chart. Okay. Now, here are the questions. How many sharpeners did the student use? Alright, let us see. The sharpeners here are, 5. So it should be, the answer should be letter D, number 5. Number 6. What type of school supply has a scale number of 3? Okay, option pen, pencil, scale, and sharpener. The correct answer here is letter C, that is scale. If you are going to go back to this chart, scale is 3. Okay. Number 7. What is the table about? Okay. A, school supplies, B, types of school supplies, C, number of school supplies, and D, school supplies students use. The correct answer is letter D, school supplies students use. Number 8. What supply got the highest scale number? Okay, eraser, B, pen, C, pencil, D, sharpener. The correct answer is letter C, pencil. Number 9. This type of text has many reading paths, since it is the readers who decide the sequence of reading, not the author of the text. Okay, A, illustration, B, linear, C, non-linear, and D, the pictograph. The correct answer is letter C, non-linear. Number 10. It is a text that organized in network structure. Okay, A, illustration, B, linear, C, non-linear, D, pictograph. The correct answer here is letter C, non-linear. Number 11. It is a text which has an order or sequence. A, illustration, B, linear, C, linear, non-linear, and D, pictograph. The correct answer here is B, linear. Number 12. It is a fictional narrative, shorter than novel. Okay. Option A is A, B, poem, C, speech, and D, story. The correct answer is letter D, story. Number 13. It is a direct or personal written or printed message addressed to a person or organization. A is a, B letter, C poem, D story. The correct answer is letter B, letter. Number 14. It is a representation usually on a flat surface of the whole or a part of an area. Option A, chart, B, flow chart, C, graph, D, map. Okay, correct answer is D, map. 15. Which is not an example of a linear text? A, letter, B, map, C, novel, D, verse. Correct answer is B, map. 16. Well, let us now proceed to our main topic, linear and non-linear. Okay. Under what I know, in your module, we have multiple choice. And our directions are the following. Answer the following questions. Write your answers in your notebook. Okay, number 1. It is a picture or diagram that helps make something clear or attractive. A, figure, B, illustration, C, image, D, pictograph. The correct answer is D, pictograph. Number 2. It refers to traditional text that needs to be read from beginning to end for further understanding. A is a, B linear, C non-linear, and D speech. The correct answer is B, linear. Number 3. It is a non-sequential text, which means that the readers do not have to go through the text in a sequential manner in order to make sense of the text. A is a, B linear, C non-linear, and D speech. The correct answer is C, non-linear. Alright, number 4. This type of text has many reading paths since it is the readers who decide the sequence of reading, not the author of the text. Okay? A, illustration, B, linear, C, non-linear, and D, pictograph. The correct answer here is C, non-linear. Number 5. It is a text that is organized in network structure. Okay? A, illustration, B, image, C, linear, and D, non-linear. The correct answer is D, non-linear. Alright, number 6. It is a text which has an order or sequence. A, illustration, B, linear, C, non-linear, D, pictograph. The correct answer is B, linear. Number 7. It is a fictional narrative, shorter than a novel. A is a, B poem, C speech, D story. The correct answer is letter D, story. 8. It is personally written or printed message addressed to a person or organization. A is a, B letter, C poem, D story. The correct answer is B, letter. Number 9. It is usually long and complex, invented prose narrative which deals with human experience through a connected sequence of events. A is a, B novel, C speech, D story. The correct answer is B, novel. Number 10. It is a diagram that shows a step-by-step progression, procedure, or system using connecting lines and a set of conventional symbols. A, chart, B, flowchart, C, graph, D, map. Correct answer is B, flowchart. Number 11. It is a diagram that represents the variation of a variable in comparison with other variables. A, chart, B, flowchart, C, graph, D, map. The correct answer is C, graph. 12. It is used to present similarities and differences of an object or idea. A, diagram, B, flowchart, C, graph, D, Venn diagram. The correct answer is D, Venn diagram. 13. Which of the following is an example of a linear text? A, graph, B, novel, C, chart, and D, map. The correct answer is B, novel. 14. Which of the following is an example of a non-linear text? A, short story, B, news article, C, verse, and D, graph. The correct answer is D, graph. 15. The following are examples of non-linear text except A. Chart. B. Graph. C. Map. D. Verse. The correct answer is D. Verse. Alright. Under what's in your module? In this new lesson that you will be working on, you will be exploring a skill which is very useful and effective in reading comprehension. When we read, we follow a path to engage with and make meaning of a text. This is called reading path. Specifically, it is the path we take through a visual text which helps us understand the information we get from reading. Alright. Now, as a student, as a starter activity, take time to read the selection below and work on the drill that follows. Alright, we have here a selection. I'm not going to read this because you have already copied this on your module. Just try to read this in your module and then try to answer the following questions. It says here similarities and differences of an object or idea can be presented through a Venn diagram. Present the similarities and differences of spontaneous and induced abortion you have just read in the Venn diagram that follows. Alright, now, here is a Venn diagram. The ideas in the selection that you have read about abortion is you are going to write down here in this part on the left side the spontaneous abortion, about spontaneous abortion, and on the right side is induced abortion. Now, these two sides are called differences of ideas in the given selection. And then here in the middle, it is the similarities. So in other words, you are going to write down here on both sides the differences. On the left side is about spontaneous abortion, and then on the right side is about induced abortion. Alright, let's proceed. Example. Under spontaneous abortion, fetus is expelled from the mother's womb unintentionally. Alright, you can write down your own idea. And then for induced abortion, the termination of pregnancy is willfully done. These ideas were taken from the selection. And then for similarities, both method kills the child in the mother's womb. Alright, here is the similarities. Remember, the similarities should be in the middle, on the part which both sides overlap. Alright, next, under what's new in your module. The selection you just read is actually called a linear text, while the Venn diagram is called a non-linear text. Remember that. The selection is called linear text, while the Venn diagram is called non-linear text. Most of the times, linear and non-linear texts are used to complement each other to give readers easier access to important information. Transcoding linear to non-linear text and vice versa is an important skill to develop. As a reader, transcoding linear to non-linear text will help you gain better understanding and recall, and easier access to information if you need to review. Now, here's direction. Identify the text type as to linear or non-linear. Write your answers in your notebook. Alright, ready? Number 1, graph. This is non-linear. Number 2, essay. This falls under linear. Number 3, poem. This is linear. Number 4, diagram. This falls under non-linear. Number 5, story. This is linear. Flowchart is non-linear. Map is non-linear. Story map is non-linear. Novel falls under linear. 10, graphic organizer is non-linear. 11, letter is linear. Pie chart is non-linear. Speech is linear. Bar graph is non-linear. And 15, educational text is linear. Alright, I've learned something in this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you again.